Okay, Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. Now, of course, where we last left off, PETA had just finished trying to choke Katniss to death. So we begin with seeing PETA going through the reprogramming phase, and Katniss recovering from damaged vocal cords. So she can become the propaganda face of the rebellion in their quest to destroy the Empire. I mean, the districts that destroy the evil capital. Maybe it's the white and black faceless enemies that have really poor aim. So this, of course, is the last. This is the giant, big. We're going to do the massive battle to take over the capital. And we really don't see that because we're following Katniss and her squad, which is pretty much we're going to be miles away from combat. We're going to film the propaganda piece because they know that her job is pretty much to be the face of the propaganda for even they always call them propos. So they fully understand and explain that she is the face of the resistance. They don't want to get killed. They do an initial sequence where they have to take out an arms area. And then you quickly realize they do a lot of telegraphing. They foreshadow pretty much every major moment is heavily foreshadowed, which ruins a lot of the suspense. And I've read the books, and it was pretty easy to pick out what the next things were going to be. They do a sequence in an underground area that had the perfect amount of tension, great build-up, perfect climax. But a lot of the film is just build up to a moment, and the moment just kind of happens, and you're like, oh, okay. Kind of saw it coming. But the sequence in the tunnel, you could tell something was going to happen, and something is just very much out of, it feels like it's really out of left field. But it's happened in previous films as well. So I'll say this is a good film, not a great film. It does feel like you could take the third and fourth films, which they're both a little over 2 hours. It feels like you could probably trim them and make a pretty easy 3.5 hour film. There's a lot of dragging in this film. And a lot of scenes that you go, oh, well, this is happening. I know it's going to happen like 20 minutes from now. The ending sequence, it did feel like every time it faded to black, I'm like, okay, and we're not done. Okay. It's a good film, not really what I would call a great film. The sass is Jennifer Lawrence. Fantastic actress. I don't know what it is, but until the very end of the film, her character is just very... There's no real emotion. Going back to the previous films, she really had no real emotion. And it's like, this is the big role she's going to be known for. She's going to make all of her money off of. And it's just, all the best dialogue comes from somebody else. Some of the best acting moments seem to come from other people. I feel like she's just there. I never really bought into her and PETA relationship. And now that the franchise is done, I still really didn't buy into it that much. Yeah, I think with that being the cornerstone, if it doesn't quite resonate very well, it really kind of falls flat. So overall, very good film. Just there are a lot of moments that felt like they were dragging out because the book itself is big. Oh, and Donald Sutherland does a fantastic job. Beautiful job. He's got sections of dialogue that pretty much mirror things that happen in the real world. That might have been part of the reason why, too, like the film is good but not great. After having sat through pretty much daily coverage of what happened in France, too, and then, of course, the recent people being attacked at the hotel. Watching this sort of film where you've got a rebellion leading siege to capital, maybe just felt a little bit too directly on the nose, and it felt like I was watching more or less news footage, which kind of makes it hard to figure out what side to really truly root for.